Hi, in this video I'd like to show you why epiphenomenalism is a wrong view. Well, first I'm going to give you a very short introduction about what epiphenomenalism is. Well, we have the intuitive view that we have a mind and a body, and the mind being immaterial, the body being material. And in philosophy this view is called Interactionism. As you can see in this picture, it's a form of dualism because there are two substances. The M stands for material, the I stands for immaterial, and these substances can influence themselves and each other. That's why it's called interactionism. Well, there's a very big problem with this, and that's how is it ever possible that something immaterial can cause something material? Because there's somehow some particle in your brain has to start moving just by some non-physical force, and that's why very much scientists and philosophers don't accept the interactionism view, because it also seems to contradict the laws of physics, like conservation of energy, conservation of momentum. The physics just doesn't seem to give us the room for such kind of weird interaction. So what are the alternatives? Well, one alternative is materialism. That's to discard the whole immaterial thing altogether. So then you get this picture. There's only material things, and material things are the causes and the effects. But we have the strong intuition that this can be the whole thing, because we have the feeling that there's something immaterial, that we are not mere matter. So what are the options to save dualism, to save the immaterial? Well, one view is epiphenomenalism. And epiphenomenalism says that the material can influence the material and the immaterial, as you can see in this picture, but the immaterial cannot influence the material. Well, and this seems a very acceptable view, because it solves a lot of problems, like it accounts for the feeling that we have something immaterial, and it also doesn't contradict the laws of physics, because the immaterial doesn't have to influence the material. But there's a very big mistake, a misassumption underlying this view, and I'm going to show you now. And that is that the following. Suppose this situation, look at the picture. Well, the epiphenomenalism says immaterial world cannot cause anything. So when we express the belief that there is an immaterial world, so when we express the belief of epiphenomenalism, epiphenomenalism itself says that belief, that expression of that belief cannot be caused by the immaterial world, so it must be caused by the material world. And I think when we say there is an immaterial world, we want that to be caused by the immaterial world. But epiphenomenalism itself says that it can't. So the very view of epiphenomenalism can only be caused by the material. And look at this. If you just remove the immaterial component of the epiphenomenalism, it doesn't change a thing about the way things happen. You may say, well, maybe there is no consciousness anymore then, but there's still, we still say the same thing. I still make this video about epiphenomenalism. People still believe that there's something immaterial. So that's the big problem. The very reason we started with epiphenomenalism is that we have the feeling that there's something immaterial. But if the immaterial can't cause anything, then however can the expression that the immaterial exists surface in the material world? That is the big problem. And that is why epiphenomenalism just can't be true. Well, of course, it doesn't prove that that the immaterial world doesn't exist, but it shows there's no reason to suppose it exists if it cannot influence anything. And that there's no reason to suppose it exists means that it is just as likely that an immaterial world exists as that a dragon is walking on Mars, or any fact you can imagine. And that's why epiphenomenalism is a wrong view. It's either dualism, interactionism, or monism, but like in between thing like epiphenomenalism just can't be true. Thank you for watching my video, and if you do not agree or you just want to comment, please do. Bye.